How do you learn to run fast but relaxed? How can you get elasticity within your sprinting mechanics? How can you make sure that your muscles are not working against each other when you're sprinting? Well, that's what we're going to take a look at. Now, I'm predominantly a long and triple jump coach. Of course, I have to teach sprinting. Have you noticed how long jumpers and triple jumpers are very relaxed on the run-up, and how this can contrast with sprinters who, yes, should still be relaxed, but particularly in the 60 metres and 100 metre races can exhibit more tension, and they look like they're trying that bit harder in many cases. In order to run fast, you need to be relaxed. You need to be relaxed in the shoulders, in the hips, and this will enable you to run more fluently. It will enable this to be done more technically and also at a deeper level in terms of how your muscles react against each other, how they work in concert with each other when you are actually sprinting at high velocity. You may have seen some clips on Instagram from Randy Huntington, who coached Mike Powell to the current world long jump record and also works a lot with Chinese athletes, including Su Bing-ten. And you may have seen how he was manipulating Chinese athletes' lower limbs in order for them to actually move very, very quickly.
So when you do max velocity, this has to let go. So I should be able to come up to him and do this. Let it go, let it go.
Now this is teaching them elasticity, how to not inhibit movement, so that the limb just moves backwards and forwards with great fluency. This is something that Rolf Oman, who's worked with Randy with Chinese athletes and who's a great coach in his own right, also emphasizes. So check out this clip and also check out both Randy's and Rolf's Instagram pages for further great content.
It is elasticity.
So I've been working a lot on developing this elasticity coupled with relaxation, for example, with my jumpers. We've been utilising that particular drill that you've seen on screen that Randy was showing to the Chinese athletes. We've also been doing variations of that drill as well. You can also do similar with the shoulders, albeit without the arms being pressed back and forwards or moved. Basically do a set of weighted dumbbells, sprint arms, and then do a set without. And then try to move the arms as relaxed as you can, keeping the shoulders down, not actually trying to move them as fast as you can, but letting the speed just continue to build up and build up and build up. That's how the muscles can work better, working with each other and not against each other. And that not only applies to the shoulders, but as I'm indicating, for example, to the hamstrings and the crucial ability to whip the foot down into the track surface and apply more force. Try adding those particular drills into your early session warm-ups. Now, what else do I do in order to get that fluency, that relaxation and that intramuscular coordination? We will do high cycle drills, oval shaped ones, where we are actually exaggerating the elasticity of the movement front side so that the hip goes further forwards and allows the lower leg to in itself go that bit further as well. Think of Mattia Filani running down the run-up, particularly last season where he was really opening out. Perhaps that's overdone, but that will give you the concept of what we're after in terms of the particular drill. We then progress to build-up runs where we're looking to achieve that elasticity in the running action post-acceleration. So the athletes have to sit tall on their hips, get their hands up to eye level, torso potentially just slightly in front of the hips, and then a high knee lift in order to get that range of movement. We're looking at frequency and range. I'll also give the jumpers various other inflections regarding sprinting technique to work on when they are performing various sprints. So for example, we might do fly 20 or 30 meters, and one inflection could be to open up the stride length within reason, and another one could be focusing on the shoulders and relaxation there. It's important to work on the areas individually and in concert so that the athlete, the sprinter, the jumper understands all about this relaxation, use of elasticity at speed. What you also need to be mindful of when you're working on this fluency and elasticity is what other training you're doing. If you're doing a lot of concentric weight training, for example, then potentially you can lose some elasticity. Now, it does depend on the type of athlete you are, the stage in your training development, your maturation levels, so forth and so on. And of course, how much concentric work you are doing in training. However, you want your muscles to be elastic, to have eccentric capabilities, to be able to extend quickly under load, as well as being able to shorten rapidly. So don't just train concentrically, train eccentrically as well. Speaking of elasticity and elastic athletes, one of the guys that I coach, in conjunction with another couple of coaches, Daniel M. Gabor, jumped 7.76 meters for a UK under 17 best, subject to the distance being ratified. It's 23 centimetres longer than the existing best and currently ranks him number 6 in the UK ranking list for 2025. So that's a phenomenal jump. And Daniel is, as I've indicated, a very elastic yet strong young man. If you've any questions on what I've been talking about in this particular video, then leave them in the section below or through my other social media. And thanks for your support and good luck with your competitions, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'll quickly go through the last week, but as I said, you can study the training plans in your own time. So here it's about reducing the volume, trying to get her ready for the competition, to be fresh for the competition. All the work should have been done previously, and therefore we don't want to have a stressed week. So the emphasis here was on, for example, run-ups, working through again the last 3 steps with some takeoffs on them, as I've indicated here, so she knows what to do. There's a lot more rest days in this week, different positions to normal because the competition's on the Sunday. We included some weights, and again this time it's about maintaining, similar to last week in terms of exercises, but a few less. Finishing again the session with some easy runs on grass, just as a warm down. Doing runs on grass after a weight session or even on the track in trainers can be a way of getting your legs back into running, or the athlete's legs back into running, and literally running the weights out of the athlete's legs. Now, Yasmin should be well and truly used to the weight training, therefore she should be able to recover well from that session. The other main track focused, jump focused session of the week also included run-ups. As you can see, that's a big emphasis in my training philosophy, and it should be in yours for the long jumpers and triple jumpers, particularly relatively early season before they've done lots of competitions. So not only were we doing run-ups, positioning again and placing markers and cones to indicate what to do or to trigger the right movements, we also included a few takeoff drills. So the hitch kick first stage, taking the arm over the top, again reinforcing that arm action, and then it was on to the run-ups. So quite a short session before taking a day off before the competition.